Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first ever football podcast done for our cast project. My name is Filippo.
I'm Ali.
And I'm Jonathan.
Today, we'll be discussing various topics um, f- um, such as Serie A, La Liga, and Premier League. The three, what we believe are the three main, the top three leagues in Europe. We'll be discussing topics such as the table, what we believe the end, the end positionings will look like, as well as future fixtures and this week's fixtures, and looking at players and their performances. We'll be starting with Serie A. So, as you guys can see, Inter's in the lead by 4 points from Milan, followed by Juventus, which is struggling behind by 4 points from Milan. And however, they have a game in hand. Roma is at fourth place with 44 points, and Atalanta follows 1 point behind.
Yeah, Lazio as well. One same points as Atalanta, just goal difference separating them. In terms of predictions, as you can see to the left, me, Filippo, and Jonathan all predicted what it's gonna look like at the end of the season. So I'll start off with staying up. Last five, they're on amazing form. They drew one game, won the other four. Lukaku doing amazing, having an amazing season. So I think they're gonna stay up there for the rest of the. I think Juventus will edge it over Milan. Less, as Filippo said, only 4 points behind. They're on quite good form as well, winning 4 out of 5 of their games. And then I think Milan will just fall behind them. I think Roma will stay at fourth place. They're on also decent form. They're having quite a good season. And fifth, I would say Atalanta. I think they're gonna get more points than Lazio and Napoli, and they're gonna stay fifth as well. At the end of the season.
I somewhat agree with Ali, as we have the exact same top five, however different positionings. I feel like Inter winning this season has been kind of written in stone, especially ever since the second half of the season. However, I disagree with Milan keeping top three position. As you can see, they've lost 3 out of their last 5 games, and I feel like to come, Milan will be losing much more games, and Juventus having this game in hand, which if they possibly win it makes them 1 point right after Milan, and Milan still having to play with teams such as Roma. Fixture coming up really soon. I feel like Milan will be falling down to the fourth place. Inter in first, Roma and Juventus. I can see them switching positions. So Juventus second, Roma third, Roma second, Juventus third. And I feel like Atalanta will be coming out of the top between Lazio and Napoli, as they're all roughly at the same points, as Napoli has 1 game in hand. And Lazio, horrible performance in Champions League, as well as Napoli, horrible performance in Europa League. Atalanta lost yesterday against Real Madrid, 1-0 goal in the last minute. But apart from that, I feel like they're in really good form. So that's my top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhat disagreeing with what Filippo said about Milan. I think Milan are actually going to edge over the top 3 teams and actually win it. They've had a really good first part of the season with Ibra coming back super strong, scoring a lot of goals, really helping the team. And I don't know, I just think that they are going to edge over in the last fixtures and win it. So I have Juve in second. Juve is always a team that is expected a lot from. They have, well, huge budget players such as Cristiano Ronaldo or even Dybala. And yeah, I think that they're just expected to be up there, and I think this year will be no less. I have Inter in third. They are playing really well now, and Lukaku is also playing amazing. He has, if I'm not mistaken, 18 goals so far.
17.
And
yeah.
Yeah, and Atalanta, I put in fourth. They've been playing Champions League for the past 2 years with very good performances as well. and I just think that they're going to make Champions League kind of no matter what. And then I put Napoli in 5th. This was kind of risky. This could have been Lazio, Roma as well. And yeah, it might be Roma as well in 5th, but I just put Napoli because even though they haven't been performing that well lately, I feel that they might just get that little boost at the end to boost them up to 5th place.
It's very important to notice that, I don't know if you guys know, but the game that Napoli and Juventus are missing is actually against each other. So it's going to be obviously a very difficult game, and it can, as well as one of them can win it, it can easily come as a tie. But it's very interesting that you think, Jonathan, that you think that Napoli, being 4 points behind from Roma, however, obviously a game in hand, can, Roma can possibly go down 3 positions to 6th.
Yeah,
I
well,
also think it's controversial. Like Napoli, as you can see in the last 5, they've won 2 out of 5 games. Obviously, you said they have 1 game in hand, but it's against Juventus, who are on 4 out of 5 wins. Have Ronaldo, the likes of Ronaldo, Dybala, like Jonathan said, and obviously they're a huge club. So I predict Juventus would win that game, keeping Napoli at 7th, and also by the end of the season, comparing them to the other teams, I don't really see them making it into top 5. Maybe 6th place over Lazio, but Atalanta's had 2 really good years. Roma's on really good form, and then the obvious top 3.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I just feel that kind of Napoli's also kind of like a big club that has been performing, I'd say, decently over the past years. And I feel like they were just kind of expected by their fan base and by, well, the people that support them to be up there. And I think that they might just get some good performances towards the end of the season and then be able to make it up there. But at the same time, like you, Alan and Filippo said, Roma is also performing extremely well. As you can see, they've won 3 out of their last 5 games with 1 tie. And then, yeah, I feel that Roma could also make it into the top 5 and maybe even the top 3.
Yeah, it's extremely tight. I would say this is probably one of the most tight seasons. It's crucial to think that this is the first season that Juventus is actually not on the top.
Yeah.
Juventus has been winning the past few seasons, and at this point in time last year, they would have had, I'd say, like 6-point lead. And so it's very interesting to see that especially with new players incoming, that I would say were even better than their last players. For example, Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the best players in the world, coming in, a couple of years ago at Juve, and not seeing them, at the top of the top. Obviously, they're up on top there, but it's very unusual. Players like Rabiot, Dybala, obviously the defending line, Bonucci, Chiellini. It's just very interesting to see that Juventus is, somewhat struggling, fighting against teams like Roma, who have players which are nowhere near as close in value as Juventus, or Atalanta, who is a team which I personally like a lot, as they're not one of those teams that make very good moves on the transfer market, but it all comes to them from the academy.
Yeah.
I think, having said that, we can move on to the fixtures, unless you guys want to mention something else. I just want to point out at the looking at the relegation side of the table, Torino have obviously tying and winning is not the best to get you to the top, but it's working well for them, moving slowly further away from the relegation zone. In fact, they have a 5-point lead from Cagliari.
I personally think they're gonna make it way higher up at the end of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, comparing them to the bottom side of the table, at least they haven't had a single loss in the last 5 games, going undefeated, and they've had quite a. So I see them going easily into the top 12 or something like that, maybe even top 10.
Same. They always have pretty decent players, and they always, qualify quite well. So I think that they'll have no problem with the relegation this year.
I think relegation, the last 3, it's gonna stay like that. I mean,
they may switch positions in between them, but
they haven't won a single game in their last 5 games. They've lost 4 out of 5 and then 5 out of 5. So I don't see that changing.
Having said that, I think we can move on to the fixtures.
Yep.
So, yeah, as we've been mentioning, these have been match day 23. Match day 23 was actually an extremely important match day, especially for the top two teams. Milan playing against Inter, resulting in a 3-0 win for Inter. Absolutely no chance Milan was going to get that win. And so that's what has made the big gap between the two teams of 4 points. Roma getting an awful tie in Benevento, especially being one player up. I would say it's a very poor performance. A lot of late minute drama with a penalty at the 94th minute, which was cancelled due to a offside for VAR.
Yeah.
Then things we could expect: Fiorentina winning with Spezia, Sassuolo and Bologna tying yet again, roughly at the same side of the table, so it's good, as well as Genoa and Verona. Verona, I would say, is a very underestimated team.
Yeah.
Juventus winning 3-0 at Crotone, obviously given. I want to look at Atalanta Napoli. The Atalanta has actually won 4-2 against Napoli, which was a extremely good result for the Atalanta side. And yet again, giving this point lead from Napoli. If Napoli would have had this point, I would definitely see them being, these 3 points lost to Atalanta, I would definitely see them in the top half. Now, looking at the match day 24, I would say the most important game, Roma-Milan, top 5 teams. Yeah, what do you guys have to say?
Well, I mean, I think, Filippo, we should let this one to you as you support Roma. So who do you think is going to win this Roma-Milan?
I feel like it's going to be a really, really tight game. Milan not in the best form. Roma, obviously, top 4. The last time Roma and Milan played, it resulted in a tie. So I wouldn't be expecting. I would say I would be expecting a tie. However, Roma has a game against Braga today, and won 2-0 in Braga for Europa League. So I feel like they would, apart from being tired, they've been performing well.
Yeah, and also
so I would say either Roma or a tie.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a very tight one. Hard to call. It could be a draw. It could go either way, in my opinion. So yeah, it'll be a very tight game.
I feel like the other games are going to be quite, given. We can move on to the player and stat performances.
Yeah.
Not much to be said here. Obviously, big names at the top. Cristiano Ronaldo, 18 goals. Lukaku, 17, followed by Ciro Immobile at 14, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Muriel in the goals side. In the assist side, very, very tight. Çalhanoğlu and Mkhitaryan, both with 8 assists, followed by 7 and 6. So I would believe the ones to watch are Muriel, of course. Muriel has 14 goals, as you can see, placing in third. He's not one of those. He's not as talked about as Zlatan Ibrahimovic or Ciro Immobile, who won the Golden Boot last season. But yet again, crucial for Atalanta. He's been coming in. He's been used as a substitute for the most recent games, and he's been coming in scoring tons of goals. I need to highlight the fact that there's a rivalry between Lukaku and Ibrahimovic, as they fought the last time they were on the field. Ibrahimovic with 14 goals, Lukaku just 3 ahead. It's important to notice that Zlatan has been injured and only played 15 games, I believe, instead of Lukaku, who has played all 23. And so just a 3-goal difference. I believe that if Zlatan played, he would definitely be on the top. So my ones to watch, on the top. My ones to watch are Muriel. Then I said El Shaarawy, one of the most recent buys of Roma. He's played two games, and he's assisted one goal and nearly gotten a penalty that I was talking about against Benevento. So I would definitely be seeing more from him. Hernandez obviously not really wants to watch. He's an amazing player, been doing miracles for Milan, being a pushing right back. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
since
also,
Hernan.
I'd also put Morata as ones to watch, in my opinion. Obviously, with Juventus having the likes of Ronaldo, Dybala, like huge names, he's not being so much spoken about, but I believe he's one of the top scorers in Champions League. As you could see, he's only one behind Karanoglu and Mkhitaryan for assists. So I think he's gonna be up there. I think he's definitely someone to watch. And as for top goal scorers, I think Ronaldo's still gonna, at the end of the season, he's still gonna be up there, but close to Lukaku.
What you were saying about Teo Hernandez, since he's come into Milan, he started playing, if I'm not mistaken, he's now their starting right back. And well, he's been giving a lot of good performance defensively, but he's also scored quite a few goals, also helping Milan win some points. And Filippo, as you also said, since Ibrahimovic has been injured for quite a few games, I think that as soon as he starts getting back into form, I think he might go up to the second, maybe even the first position, although I find it hard that he's going to pass Ronaldo in there with 18 goals.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the assist side for a second. Mkhitaryan been playing an amazing season for Roma. You know, coming from Arsenal and Manchester United, teams of top quality, and now playing in Roma, which too is a really good team. He's bringing a lot to the table. Many assists, as we can see, number one, and goals. I believe he's at 9 right now. So yeah. I wouldn't mind moving on to La Liga, unless you guys have something else to say.
Yeah, so La Liga, here we can see Atletico have been performing really well for this entire beginning of the season. Now, well, they drew and then they lost their last 2 matches, but even though they've been playing amazingly, Real Madrid and Barcelona both are starting to get back into shape after quite a not as good start to the league as they're usually expected to. As now you can see they've both won 4 out of their 5 last matches. And yeah, I'd just like to say Sevilla have won 5 of their last 5 matches. They're playing amazing. They beat Barcelona 2-0 in the first round of the semifinals of the Spanish Copa del Rey. So they're definitely performing extremely well. They have a really solid defense. If I'm not mistaken, until they lost 3-2 to Dortmund, they had gone 6 games without being scored on. So yeah. And then I feel that Europa League spots, so 5th, 6th, and 7th, Real Sociedad, Villarreal, Betis. As you can see, Villarreal is performing lately. They haven't been performing as well. They've tied 4 out of the last 5 games and haven't won one. And unlike them, Real Sociedad are now starting to get back into a winning streak. They started off the year very well, top 3 positions, but now they've slowly been going down. Now even they lost in Europa League against Man United 4-0. So I feel that they might go up in position now, as since they are most likely to be eliminated from Europa League, they will now have less games to play. Their players will be more fresh towards these La Liga games.
Yeah, I think we can move on to what we believe our end of league predictions are. So I'd say for me, the top one is going to be Real Madrid, obviously. Really good team. Atletico, again, has a 3-point lead from Real Madrid, yet also 1 less game, so that can become 6. I'm not really sure why I put Real Madrid up there, but Atletico has only won 2 out of their last 5 games. So I wouldn't be surprised if they continued this not so good form. So Real Madrid could overcome them. Barcelona, 4 out of 5 games, 1 tie. I think Messi is carrying quite a lot, so he could definitely make the top 3 spot. No doubt that Sevilla is going to be in the top 4. He'll make Champions League. Look at that clean 5 out of 5 wins. Really good from the Sevilla side. And now Real Sociedad obviously has a 4-point lead from Villarreal, and from their horrible form, not having won one single game in the last 5 games, I believe there's no doubt. So definitely the top 5 staying the same, and just a few changes in the positioning.
Yeah,
It's very interesting to see that you guys, however, have Atletico as first and Real Madrid as second.
I mean, Filippo, both of us, we have very similar predictions. The last 3, obviously the same. However, Real Madrid and Atletico switched around. I could see it going both ways. Obviously, Real Madrid having a better La Liga form. As you said, the Atletico have 1 game in hand. They're 3 points ahead. I feel like right now, currently, they're not at their best form. Obviously, also they lost to Chelsea last night in the Champions League. They're kind of having a losing streak right now, but I think they'll bring it back. And it's a tight one to call between Atletico and Real, but I think Atletico are gonna stay at the top.
Yeah, I also think Atletico is going to stay at the top. I think this is their league to win. They started the league out super well. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they got up to 10 points above the second qualified, which was Real Madrid and Barcelona.
So Real Madrid has actually been catching up throughout the whole second half of the season. So I doubt they'll stay in second.
Yeah, and I also want to say Barcelona actually played yesterday. They won 3-0 against Elche. 2 goals from Messi, 1 from Jordi Alba. So they're actually with 50 points in second place now.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I just want to say this is Atletico's league to win, and I honestly think it's going to stay like this. I wish Real Madrid could bring it back, but I really doubt it. And yeah, actually in 5th position, I put Villarreal because they've been playing really bad lately, but I think they have a great team. Gerard Moreno has been scoring lots of goals, assisting. They actually have really good players, good coach.
They can make a 4-point difference.
I think, honestly, it could be Real Sociedad. It might even be Betis, but yeah, it's going to be in between those 3.
I feel like Real Sociedad, there's no doubt. No doubt they'll stay in 5th. Look at that 4-point difference. I think that there's no chance that Villarreal in such a horrible form can even get close to them. I feel like there's going to be an actual difference in it's going to be a cut, there's going to be some really big point difference between the 5th and the 6th. And I just want to highlight Sevilla looking really, really good. I've been able to see a few of the games, and they're playing quite amazing. Only 5 points, 4 points behind Real Madrid. However, a game in hand, so they can definitely start making their way on to the top 3. Now that I think about it, I might as well put them, in the top 3. I think there'd be no surprise if they continue this amazing form of theirs.
But obviously, their next game is against Barcelona, so that's going to be a really big game.
Having said that, I think we should move on to the fixtures.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one last thing about Sevilla, that this amazing form they have is really due to their defense. They have Diego Carlos and Koundé as their central defenders and Bono as their goalie, and they've been playing amazingly, saving lots of goals. The defense is super solid, and yeah, I definitely think Sevilla can possibly go up and maybe even to second place.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so passing on to the fixtures and predictions. So as we can see, Barcelona and Cadiz tied, that was very, very poor from Barcelona. If I'm not mistaken, Cadiz tied in the 89th minute with a penalty conceded by Langley. So yeah, I think Barcelona should have gotten those 3 points, but yeah, they let those last 2 points slip away. Real Madrid winning 1-0. They haven't been performing great lately, but they've been edging right over their rivals. So we can see Real Sociedad actually winning 4-0 against Alaves, coming back from that 4-0 defeat against Man United in Europa League. 3 goals from Isaac, who's lately been playing really well. And yeah, I just want to highlight Atletico Madrid actually losing 2-0 against Levante, which Atletico had been playing extremely well, and then this past week, they've actually, if I'm not mistaken, lost 5 out of their last 6 points.
2-0 win away. I just think this game obviously highlights their poor performance from Atletico. You can even look at the Champions League game against Chelsea. They got scored a beautiful bicycle kick by Olivier Giroud. I just think that you can't be losing 2-0 against Levante. These are the small games at home which win you the league. It's not really the games against the big clubs that win you the league. I'm saying this obviously being a Roma fan. Roma's been doing somewhat well due to these small games. They've been mostly winning all the game. They've won. I mean, on the first half of the season, they won every single game against, if I'm not mistaken, top 5. So, if Atletico had won this game, they'd be at 6-point lead right now, and then 1 game in hand.
Yeah,
So,
possibly 9-point lead.
Yeah, so I can't really see Atletico keeping the good form that they had in the first half.
Yeah, fair enough. And also, going back to what Jonathan said, we also see that 4-0, huge win. Isaac, though, 3 goals, he said. I think he's definitely one to watch. He's also a future star. He's a very young player, doing really well for Real Sociedad. So that's why I also put Real Sociedad in my top 5. But Atletico, of course, 2-0, lost to 8th place, if I'm not wrong, being Levante. So, yeah, they're not on a good form, but I think they'll pick it back up, and that's why I put it in my first.
Yeah, and I just wanted to quickly highlight Huesca finally winning over Granada 3-2. If I'm not mistaken, they hadn't won in their last 5 games. And then, yeah, they're actually in last position. Well, now they brought in a new coach. This was his first game, won 3-2, edging right over Granada. And I don't know, maybe if they better their performances, they might be able to get out of the relegation.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that the relegation, we didn't talk about it, but it's extremely close. Huesca has 19 points, followed by Valladolid and Elche and El Bar, who have all 21 points. So this game is this win is really crucial. Elche, if I'm not mistaken, has 2 less games to play, so possibly even making it, if winning both, can even make it to the 12th place.
Yeah,
which would be insane.
They actually lost yesterday to Barcelona, so they have 1 more game to play.
Who?
Elche.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that we mentioned that before.
Come up to the 14th, 15th position with this win. So yeah, it's extremely tight. Huesca with this win actually bringing it back, and yeah, let's see if they can better their performances and get out of the relegation zone.
Yeah.
So next week's fixtures, we actually have 3 pretty good games. Sevilla Barcelona on Saturday.
Yeah.
Villarreal Atletico on Sunday, and then Real Madrid against Real Sociedad on Monday. So these 3 games, who do you guys think is going to win Sevilla versus Barcelona?
I'd say Sevilla. I'm backing Sevilla. 5 out of 5 wins.
Yeah. I'm also backing Sevilla.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think I should have put them, but I have really good feelings for Sevilla. Always a good team, winning countless amount of Europa Leagues.
Yeah.
Making a name for the Spanish league, obviously, as well as the big names as Atletico, Real Madrid, and Barcelona. I also want to look at Atletico, Villarreal, and Real Madrid, Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad, I think it's gonna be a tie between the 2. Obviously, I also Villarreal and Atletico. I would presume it's a tie for both of those games.
For Real Madrid,
edging over.
Real Madrid versus Real Sociedad, I think it really depends on Real Sociedad's performance tonight against Man United. Obviously, they lost in the first leg 4-0. So it depends. Even if they don't come back to that 4-0, even if they win 2-0, 3-0, I think that will really depend on their feelings towards this game if they get battered again. and lose, get eliminated, I think they'll have pretty bad feelings, and then I think that the game is for Real Madrid to win.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And also Villarreal Atletico. I see that one going either way. I don't think it's going to be a draw. Especially with Atletico's not in a good form, losing 2-0 at home to Levante. So away to Villarreal, who are a much stronger side. I think Villarreal could win it, but also that really depends on Atletico's form.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we can move on to Premier League or the goal scorer, sorry.
Yeah, top goal scorer. So, well, top goal scorer is actually now Messi with 18 goals. He scored 2 goals yesterday against Elche. He's been playing decently. Barcelona has been getting a lot of penalties. He's been scoring them. Luis Suarez again, gotten Atletico Madrid. Actually, I don't know if this can be considered bought, but they actually got him free off Barcelona, which is a massive.
Yeah, I actually want to highlight that. I want to talk about that for a second. Luis Suarez, basically a switch. Luis Suarez, Griezmann. What do you guys think about that? Griezmann we can only see a striker. Obviously, we can only see him on this table at third place with sixth assists. Nowhere to be seen in the goals.
Yeah.
Griezmann, one of the best strikers in the world, I would say, after his World Cup winning performance in France. With France. But comparing him to Luis Suarez, who's got 16 goals, more some of these goals more than a whole team has. I don't know if Barcelona did the right decision.
I definitely don't think they did. I mean, Luis Suarez, especially in his best strikers in the world, maybe even in history. Obviously, he's doing well for Atletico. I don't think Griezmann's fitting into Barcelona's play style. I just definitely don't think it was a good decision on Barcelona's hand, especially leaving Suarez for free. And we could see that he's already doing really well for Atletico. So yeah, no, for me, that was insane.
Yeah, Filippo, even as you said that they kind of traded Griezmann for Luis Suarez, we have to remember Barcelona actually bought Griezmann for, if I'm not mistaken, 120 million.
Wow.
So Atletico got Luis Suarez and 120 million, while Barca only got Griezmann, and we can see just by their performance whose side it's going.
Barcelona is is in a deep hole right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can say that, but Lionel Messi, undoubtedly one of the best players in the world ever to live, as well as Cristiano Ronaldo. Their rivalry is absolutely insane. But I'm sure this is his last season with Barcelona. It's obviously an iconic duo, Barcelona and Lionel Messi. But I think it's his time to go. Barcelona has some serious debt in banks. Horrible transfer market with, as Jonathan just said, throwing away 120 million and giving what we believe is one of the best strikers in the world to a rival team who is competing for the top spot. So I feel like Barcelona, one of the best clubs in the world ever, I feel like they can edge down. They might not be in the best form anymore. Losing Iniesta, Xavi, so many amazing players. I feel in the years to come, they won't be the Barcelona which we know, winning all the time, one of the big teams. I think we can even start seeing them in Europa League.
Yeah, I think they're going to go on a huge downward spiral.
Yeah, kind of like what happened to Milan in these last few years. They used to be a top Serie A team. Now, this past year, with the help of Ibrahimovic, they're actually in second position already. And I think Barcelona, something similar might happen to them, although now that they have these young talents like Pedri, Riqui Puig, and Ansu Fati, they've been playing amazingly. Coming from
we really have to give props to their academy, though.
Yeah,
developing some really good players. But apart from their academy, I can't see them going anywhere. I just want to look up and see that Sevilla have actually the two big names on their assist and goal scoring sheet. And I feel like Sevilla isn't. I haven't watched many games, let's be honest, of Sevilla, but they can. I feel like they're a team which doesn't have that one man carrying them, unless I'm wrong. Like you can
Yeah.
see in I guess Atletico and Messi with Luis Suarez and Lionel Messi.
Yeah. Now Sevilla have actually brought in Papu Gomez from Atalanta in
All right. Yeah.
March, but he's still kind of struggling to fit into the game style of Sevilla. So we'll see if that works out for them.
Yeah, definitely one we can wants to watch.
Yeah, and well, in ones to watch, I put Isaac and Yusuf En-Nesyri. They've both been racking up a lot of goals, especially lately. If I'm not wrong, En-Nesyri scored 2 hat-tricks in a span of 3 games, which really brought him up to the 4th position. And Isaac with that hat-trick in his last match, and he's right now the top man at Real Sociedad. So yeah, and then we have Benzema always up there, but lately he hasn't been scoring that many goals. So yeah,
I don't really think Benzema is doing that great, to be honest. I feel like he's out of his time. He was an amazing player with Ronaldo and Messi, but Ronaldo and Messi getting old, they're starting to lose their sparkle. Ronaldo and Messi sharing the Ballon d'Or stage for the past many years, and then seeing, for example, Luka Modric win it a couple of years ago for the first time in so many years. Unfortunately, we can see these players losing and becoming older and losing their true potential. And I think Benzema is one of them. Played obviously amazing with Bale and Ronaldo when that used to be the trio. But I feel like Benzema won't be doing that well in the
Personally,
next
I disagree with that. I think an absolute machine. For example, I mean, we saw him. They call him Cristiano Airlines for a reason. This guy heads 2-header goals, amazing, and he's still on good form. I just think he had one bad game, and everyone is saying that it's the end of an era and all of this with Messi as well, having the 4-1 loss against PSG. But honestly, I think they're still at an amazing level. Obviously, the next World Cup will be the last for both of them, unfortunately. But I think they're going to finish off their careers still really strong.
Yeah.
Still, definitely top 2 best players in the world. So
yeah, I definitely agree 100%. Cristiano Ronaldo is an anomaly. Let's just say that, because you can't be that fit and be, how old is he? 37?
35.
35. I read an article which said, released by the Juventus club, it said that he has the athletic potential of a 22-year-old.
yeah,
So Cristiano Ronaldo, an anomaly, I would say. But as I was saying before, it was just more of, they're not like, Cristiano Ronaldo is not anywhere near. He's not near to what he did in Real Madrid. If you get what I mean, he obviously still is one of the best players in the world, and still is, not only because of his performance in Juventus, but he definitely did much better in Real Madrid, I would say.
Yeah. Last thing I actually wanted to say, kind of disagreeing with Filippo, with what you said a few minutes ago about Karim Benzema. He's definitely not that player that he was a few years ago, but he's still really important to Real Madrid. I feel that he's been really underrated through his career, having players like Cristiano Ronaldo, like Bale beside him. But I think this year he's not scoring as many goals, but he's definitely playing really well. I support Real Madrid, so I've watched almost all of their games, and I can see that he's not that striker like Luis Suarez is, but he receives assists. He also has a few assists, so I feel that he's actually having a pretty good season this year. Obviously not in goals though. And last thing I wanted to say is another player to watch is Marcos Llorente. We can see he has 7 assists, but he's been playing extremely well for Atletico Madrid. He's been super underrated this season, and then until lately, he's also scoring a lot of goals. And we even saw he's this past Tuesday, Simeone actually put him as right back against Chelsea due to the fact that they had no right backs available. So he actually played right back with a pretty good performance. And yeah, I just want to say he's definitely a player to watch. Lots of goals, assists, defending, an all-around player.
Yeah, I agree.
And now I think we should move on to the Premier League.
Yes, yeah. So obviously, Premier League, we could see 10-point difference from first and second. We all put Man City as our first place. So yeah, for the end of the season, Man City are on a great form, winning 5 out of 5. So yeah, they're in first, followed by Man United and Leicester, with both have the same amount of points, just Man United edging it with goal difference. Followed by West Ham, which is very interesting. Usually they're not even in the top 5, but fourth right now, doing quite well. And then followed with Chelsea behind by 2 points, and Liverpool and Everton 6th and 7th with 40 points. Also at the beginning kind of the season, Everton were first place, doing really well. So
Yeah.
it's hard to see that they've been falling down quite a lot, and big clubs named of Tottenham and Arsenal 9th and 11th. So this is really I would say a shock season.
Yeah, I totally agree. As you said, West Ham top 5, unheard of. Arsenal, amazing club, as well as Tottenham, carried by Mourinho and his amazing tactics. Even Harry Kane being one of the top assist makers. It's shocking to see them in basically mid-table. I just wanted to say that Chelsea has made a huge comeback. They were really close to Tottenham and Arsenal, if I'm not mistaken, and now have even reached the 5th position. And it's horrible to see Liverpool go down from basically 1st to 6th in a span of 2-3 games. They lost their last 4 games.
Yeah.
That's absolutely horrific. And yeah.
Especially from such a big club who had such an amazing season. I mean, winners of the league and Champions League, and they just fell off, I guess. However, in my predictions, as we can see, I still put them at 3rd. Obviously, Van Dijk was injured for a long time. I think he's getting into rehab right now. He's going to be back relatively soon, if I'm not mistaken. Big, huge name. He's the defense of Liverpool, in my opinion, along with Robertson and Trent. But Virgil, big center back, really important for Liverpool making a comeback. And then obviously they have an amazing attack in midfield, it's like Salah, Mane, and everything. So and obviously they're winning in the Champions League. So I do see them coming back. Man City, obviously we all put them there because huge, big difference. And then I put Man U in 2nd, and you as well, Filippo. I think Rashford, Pogba, huge players. They're performing well. They're undefeated in the last 5 games. However, Jonathan, you put Leicester at 2nd when me and Filippo put them on 4th and 5th. Obviously, they're having a good season and have Madison and Vardy and everything, but 2nd place, that's quite optimistic.
Yeah, I brought down Man United to 3rd place just because of they're playing Europa League, and I think that if they pass this round against Real Sociedad, which is most likely, they're going to have a lot of games during the week as well. So I think that the fatigue on the players could affect their performances, and that's why I brought Leicester up. But yeah, honestly, it could go either way, and I think Leicester will stay up there. Also, I wanted to say how, Filippo, you mentioned Liverpool have lost 4 out of their 5 last games, which is horrible for a club like them. But I put them in 4th place. I think they'll be able to bring it back. They're a club that basically needs to be in Champions League. They've been one of the top clubs. They won Champions League 2 years ago. And yeah, I think they'll be able to bring it back. And West Ham, like Ali, I believe you said at the beginning, 4th place right now. Big surprise, playing relatively well. But I feel like they won't be able to hold their good performances up, and I think they will potentially go down to 6th, 7th place.
Yeah, I find it very controversial that you put them at 3rd place, Filippo, at the end of the season, and Liverpool nowhere to be seen on your top 5, even though they're such a big club. So
I just I think that I totally disagree with Jonathan because I feel like you're making West Ham are the complete underdogs this season, as we can see. As Ali said at the start, they're a team which we expect to be, I would say, at the bottom half of the table. But I just think Liverpool, obviously, they won Champions League. That doesn't mean that they will be, fourth with which they're basically seventh now because Everton has one game in the hand to play, which is going to make them really close to Chelsea. But I just do not see Liverpool being top five in any future, at least. They just I don't know what it's been. They've had a couple of traumas, such as Van Dijk's injury, as Ali said. But I could definitely see Chelsea staying in the top five, especially after the change of manager. Getting PSG's ex-manager, I'm not sure what his name is.
Well, if I'm not mistaken,
What's his name?
Thomas Tuchel, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
So, and with him they've been in great form. You can see they haven't lost a single match in the last five, as well as Man City. So that's why I put them at first. Man U, it's quite hard. A couple of game matches ago, I could see them definitely booming first, but then Man City came in out of nowhere and got that first position. Leicester, a team which, ever since they got their win with Ranieri, sorry, they've been in the top like always, and it's amazing to see more amazing teams coming in. I also wanted to say that Leeds United was at the top for a long time and has slowly gone down to 10th. But all the teams have been finding it very hard to win against Leeds, and it's a team that only recently has been promoted to the Premier League. So I would say they're definitely an underdog, as well as West Ham. But I could definitely see the current top five, staying the same. Liverpool going down, Everton fighting with Chelsea, but Chelsea has been in an amazing form, and I hope they continue. Not hope, but I'm sure they will continue this. Hopefully, we see amazing teams such as Tottenham and Arsenal making their way up to where they should be. I guess we'll see.
Obviously, as an Arsenal fan, it's a very hard season to watch.
Arsenal lately have been staying in that mid-range zone of the league table, and I feel like they're a club, their history, their players, their budget, they should really be up there. And each year when the new season starts, it looks like this year they're gonna perform better than last season. They're gonna be up there, and this season
in the future, hopefully at least, going higher up in the rank. Obviously, they have Saka, they have Eddie Matea, Willock. They have many young players who are playing really well, who have really high potential, especially Saka, as we can see, he's already a starting player at such a young age. So hopefully in the coming seasons, they'll get back on track.
Yeah, but Arsenal has been, as well as Liverpool, they've gone through a couple of traumas. Like Saha, as Ali was saying, there was a couple of, I think a year ago, there was a huge problem with him and fans being horrible to various Arsenal players. I guess this season's not really impacting them due to them not being able to watch the games. But, Arsenal, a great team. Tottenham, a great team. They'll be at the top half. I can see them at the 7th, 8th position, 7th, 6th even. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and also Aston Villa. Really, it's not one of the top clubs that you'd say, but with players like Jack Grealish, who honestly has amazing talent. I think he's definitely up there in the Premier League with like one of the most gifted players. So also I'd see Aston Villa being in the upper half as well of the league.
Yeah, something else I wanted to say is that this year, well, obviously due to COVID, no fans can be in the stadiums, and we can see that in actually these top 3 leagues that we've seen today. It's way closer than other years. There's first 5 really close, middle table really close, relegation mostly close. We saw in Serie A and in La Liga, they're really close, and I feel like the fans not being able to be in the stadium has a huge impact on the
Player
performances.
performances, yes.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I feel like teams such as Roma really need it. Liverpool, especially,
Yeah.
Never walk alone, really need it. Juventus, not so much, but they can definitely, yeah.
Yeah, as far as the Premier League goes, I think it's inevitable. Manchester City are going to win it. It's just a matter of when. I think we can move on to the goal scorers and
No fixtures.
Wait. There you go.
No, go back.
okay, let's start for fixtures. Yeah, sure. As we can see on the left, let's start off with the previous games on the right. Arsenal, Man City. Man City winning 1-0 at away, so it's quite a devastating one for me. Liverpool, Everton. Liverpool losing 2-0 to Everton away from home.
The derby, Merseyside derby.
Merseyside derby, yeah, it's quite a big loss for Liverpool. Southampton and Chelsea drawing, also quite shocking. Chelsea obviously are in really good form, so Southampton I'd say they did well there. Leicester beating Villa away from home 2-1, and which I could see coming. And Man U beating Newcastle 3-1, and yeah, Wolves as well against Leeds. That was quite a close one. 1-0 to Wolves. They took it away. But obviously, as you guys said, I think it was Filippo, Leeds only coming in this season from the Championship, and they did really well at the start of the season. And they're still doing relatively well at the middle of the table. And yeah, so I think that was Leeds are good.
I just want to mention that there were 2 derbies in this match day. Brighton, Crystal Palace, also another derby.
Yeah.
I just want to highlight that Arsenal only losing 1-0 to Manchester City. Being in the middle of the table, you can expect this to lose against the first, but I can assure this was a hard game for Manchester City. Definitely wasn't gifted to them. West Ham, Tottenham, obviously West Ham underdogs and coming in through clutch, 2-1 win against Tottenham. Yeah, I think this table kind of summarizes what we've been seeing lately.
And also, as you said, Filippo, the match between Brighton and Crystal Palace, also very close one. If I'm not mistaken, Benteke scored in the 95th minute away from home to clutch that win for Crystal Palace. So that was quite important.
I just wanted to talk about Southampton for a second. Okay. Southampton, a team which we don't really look at that much. They're currently in 14th place.
Yeah.
It's quite hefty. However, I need to mention that Southampton has one of the best, if not the best, academies, giving players such as Mane, for example, Theo Walcott, really good players which we've seen, big names, Van Dijk, Southampton making their way into the higher, hopefully making their way into the higher half of the league table. But again, as we said, like Atalanta, not very a team about transfer windows, more of a team about their academy.
Yeah. All right. I'd say moving on to the future fixtures. Man City, West Ham. That's quite a big one, as well as Leicester, Arsenal, and Chelsea, Man U. Liverpool, Sheffield. Sheffield's last place, so I'd see Liverpool taking that one. And Everton, Southampton, also a close call.
Yeah, Chelsea, Man United. Chelsea coming from that 1-1 draw against Southampton, while Man United coming from that solid 3-1 win against Newcastle. Really, both teams are in pretty good form. Man United in pretty good form in Europa League. Chelsea also beating Atletico, edging right over 1-0. So I can see that one being a really close
Very
game.
Tight. I'd agree with that.
Chelsea Man United is going to be a really big game. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Chelsea's gonna come in over the top, playing at home.
I disagree.
Playing,
I think it's gonna be Man United.
just the fact that they have a new coach, like obviously Man United. I could definitely see the tie to Man United players like Bruno Fernandes, who I'm not even gonna lie, I feel will win the Ballon d'Or this year, depending on Man United's performance. Um, as we will see in the goals and assist table, doing amazing things for Manchester United. It's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a tough game. Manchester City, West Ham, huge game for both sides. The league will be really open if Man City loses and West Ham wins. Even for West Ham to be even reaching top two. And I disagree with Liverpool and Sheffield United. I feel Sheffield United have gotten a few games where they've been able to clutch out 1 or 2 points. For example, the tie against Manchester United. I feel like their will to not them wanting not to be in the relegation zone and wanting to get out of there. And Liverpool's recent losses, I feel like Sheffield United will at least get 1 point.
Also,
Yeah,
not
well,
sure.
go ahead.
Guys are.
Ali, you're lagging a lot for me.
Yeah, same.
Oh.
Well, I actually disagree with you, Filippo. I think Liverpool have to take this one against Sheffield. Last position, lost last week against Fulham. I think if Liverpool loses this, it would be massive upset for them. I really think they have to take this one. And I also disagree with you on the Chelsea Man United. I think Man United will take this one over Chelsea. Chelsea have a new coach, have really good players, but I still think Man United, Pogba, Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, I still think they're going to take it over Chelsea.
And I just want to highlight that Aston Villa is playing against Leeds, as Ali said, and for me, Leeds is an underdog, and Ali believes Aston Villa is an underdog. So I would definitely see that as a very, very, very interesting game between
I'll
the two.
back Aston Villa.
Sorry,
I'll back you with like.
Ali, you're lagging a lot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I can also see Aston Villa taking this one. However, Leeds United is also a lot of their matches are always decided last minutes. The winning team taking it by 1 goal, and I think they're a really tough team. Really, they play really well as well coming from the championship this year. They started off really well. Now they've kept with pretty good performances, and yeah, I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, same here. I think that's it. I'm not sure. Burnley is in what position? Burnley's in 15th position. For some reason, I thought that Burnley was gonna win against Tottenham, but I doubt that's gonna be the case. Ali, I think that your Wi-Fi is much better now.
And I think should we go on to the top scorers and assisters?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry?
Is it better now? Can you guys hear me better?
Yeah.
I think it's much better now.
Okay. So top goal scorers and assisters. Obviously in goals, it's quite relatively tight between Salah and Bruno Fernandes. Salah was 17, Fernandes was 15. But we could see on assists as well. Bruno Fernandes is second in goals and assists. So it's definitely one to watch, I'd say. And then Calvert-Lewin, Kane, Bamford, and Son all drawing with 13 goals. So I think the golden boot for the Premier League this season will be quite tight, and Salah obviously an amazing player, but with Liverpool's bad form and with Bruno Fernandes doing well and everything, I think it'll be a very tight golden boot chase this season. And as for assists, Harry Kane, a striker, usually the goal scorer, also on third. He's top on assists as well, so he's having a really good season. And Grealish is there, De Bruyne, Bruno Fernandes, 10, and then relatively far behind Cresswell, Digne, Rashford, and Son, all drawing at 6. So that'll also be very close.
I this tables perfectly backs up my point about Bruno Fernandes possibly winning the Ballon d'Or. Like, as we've seen in all leagues, there is no player which is top 2 in both assists and goals. 15 goals and 10 assists, one assist behind Harry Kane, and 2 goals behind Mohamed Salah. If Man U manage to win the Premier League and do well in Europa League, I definitely see him being as one of the, at least getting the best player for the MVP for Prem. I agree with Calvert Lewin, as Ali said, wants to watch. I'd say a very underrated player, not spoken about a lot. 13 goals, 3rd place. Harry Kane also doing well, 3rd place and 1st in assists. Definitely does not reflect Tottenham's recent performance in 9th place, I believe.
Yeah, Son and Harry Kane both on the top there for both goals and assists, so it doesn't reflect it. But also coming back to what you said about Calvert-Lewin, obviously Everton had started with a great season. He scored many goals. He won Player of the Month as well in the Premier League. So yeah, he's definitely one to watch. However, Everton are having not the best form recently. So yeah, and also Son, I also put him as ones to watch. He's a huge player, very talented. So I definitely see him going closer up to the top of the table in assists and in goals. So
yeah, let's just say he's very important for his nation and has a really big role, especially in South Korea. Very looked up upon to the South Koreans. Obviously, amazing player. He won the Puskas Award, if I'm not mistaken, best goal of the year last year.
Solo
so
run.
yeah, sorry.
It was an incredible solo run.
Yeah, solo run.
Yeah.
Yet again, 3rd place in goals and possibly 3rd place in assists. Harry Kane too. I honestly do not know what's going on between the Tottenham side.
Yeah.
Yeah, Filippo, actually.
Sorry?
No, I was just gonna say I disagree with what you said about Bruno Fernandes possibly winning the Ballon d'Or. He has 15 goals, 10 assists. That's amazing, but I feel like that just shows how important he is for his club. He's possibly their top player in the best form right now, obviously. But I really doubt he's gonna edge over players like Messi, possibly Ronaldo, Lewandowski, Neymar to win that Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, I know. It's a big shout for me and a big call, but also, for example, Luka Modric, with his amazing performance in Croatia, I'd say it's all up to the Euros and see how he plays with Ronaldo. Obviously, good duo. Ronaldo right now on the top, I believe, with 18 goals. So for the Golden Boot, if I'm not mistaken, let me just quickly check Bundesliga.
Lewandowski, I'm pretty sure.
Goals for Bundesliga and Haaland as well.
Lewandowski is definitely gonna win the Golden Boot. 26 goals. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, he's just a striker that everyone wants in their team. Every ball he gets,
he's 8 goals in front of the last. The second player. Like, that's incredible. I'm not sure. He won the Player of the Year last year, right? Yeah. So continuing this form, wow.
Yeah, that's why I also disagree with you about Bruno Fernandes. I don't think he'll be able to compete with Lewandowski.
Maybe not Ballon d'Or, but I can definitely see him winning MVP for Premier League.
Yeah,
depending on what Manchester United do. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that from Lewandowski. 26 goals, 8 in front of the second player. Wow. Good player. I think every single team in the world would want him.
Yeah, definitely agree. And his recent goal as well, amazing. One chest touch volley. He's on another level. He's in amazing form as well. So.
As a Roma player, as a Roma supporter, hopefully player soon. I'd love to have a player like Lewandowski in my team. I don't know if you guys have heard, but Edin Dzeko and Fonseca, our current coach, have gotten into a fight as Edin Dzeko said a few words to Fonseca after a recent loss, I believe, against Lazio, or the one against Spezia, where Edin Dzeko basically murmured to himself, "This guy has no idea what he's doing," and you could read it off of his lips. And yeah, he's got taken away from the captain band. Pellegrini now has it, and he's recently hasn't even started from minute one. And so I'd love to have Robert Lewandowski in the start in the top, get a little 26 goals. Yeah,
Who wouldn't want that? Like, I mean, he's in an amazing form, but also Bayern as well. He has an amazing team around him.
Yeah.
So yeah, he really fits in there.
All of Bayern players the past year, have been performing super well. Like the Champions League for them, they took it relatively easy. 8-2 win over Barcelona. Really basically beating every team that came in their way. Over Lyon, I'm pretty sure 3-0 in the semifinals, and then 1-0 win over PSG to win it. And I honestly think this year, Bayern Munich have really big chance of winning Champions League again.
Yeah, but I think we're going a bit off topic. I think our next podcast will be including our the Champions League and Europa League. So yeah,
we'll see what our next topics are, but I hope you enjoyed our first ever podcast, football podcast of the first three, what we believe are the first top 3 leagues. Let us know in the comment section if you if you have any suggestions, as well as feedback. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll see you soon in our next podcast. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.